Imagine biting into a slice of avocado toast this morning. Creamy, smooth, mild, almost ordinary. Now imagine learning that this fruit should not exist at all. Roughly 13,000 years ago, every avocado tree on Earth was facing a silent extinction. Not because of disease, not because of drought, and not because humans were cutting down forest. It was because the only creatures capable of spreading avocado seeds suddenly disappeared. For millions of years, the avocado had evolved alongside enormous Ice Age mammals, animals so massive they could swallow the fruit whole, carry its giant seed for miles, and deposit it far from the parent tree. That partnership worked perfectly, until those giants vanished. Overnight, the avocado became a species trapped by its own success. Its seed was simply too large for modern animals to carry. Deer ignored it. Predators had no interest in it. Smaller mammals couldn't swallow it. Instead of spreading across forests, ripe fruit dropped beneath the same tree, where the seeds rotted in the shade before they ever had a chance to grow. From an evolutionary perspective, the avocado had reached a dead end. Biologists sometimes call organisms like this evolutionary anachronisms, living species that are still perfectly adapted to a world that disappeared thousands of years ago. The avocado is perhaps the most famous example on Earth. Yet somehow, against every expectation, it survived. Not only did it survive, it eventually became one of the world's most valuable fruits, generating tens of billions of dollars every year, appearing in everything from sushi to smoothies, and becoming an icon of modern healthy eating. How does a fruit go from the edge of extinction to global superstardom? The answer involves giant ground sloths, ancient civilizations, Spanish conquistadors, a stubborn California mailman, billion-dollar marketing campaigns, and even organized crime. It's a story filled with unlikely coincidences, moments where a single different decision could have erased the avocado from history forever. And strangely enough, the first chapter of that story doesn't begin with people. It begins in a world ruled by giants. To understand why the avocado nearly disappeared, we have to travel back millions of years, long before farms, cities, or even humans existed. The avocado didn't evolve for us. It evolved for giants. During the Ice Age, North and South America were home to an astonishing collection of megafauna. Towering ground sloths weighing several tons wandered through forests. Elephant-like gomphotheres searched for food across vast plains. Giant herbivores roamed landscapes that look almost unimaginable today. To these enormous animals, an avocado was the perfect meal. Its rich flesh was packed with healthy fats, making it an excellent source of energy. More importantly, those animals could swallow the fruit whole, including its oversized seed, without any difficulty. Days later, sometimes miles away, they would naturally deposit the seed in nutrient-rich soil, giving a brand new avocado tree the perfect place to grow. It was an extraordinary partnership. The animals received a calorie-dense food source. The avocado received free transportation. Over millions of years, both sides adapted to each other. The fruit became larger and richer in fat to attract giant herbivores, while its seed remained unusually large because only massive animals could carry it far enough to ensure the species' survival. Even today, the avocado still carries evidence of that ancient relationship. Think about the pit for a moment. Compared to most fruits, the avocado's seed seems almost absurdly oversized. From a modern perspective, it looks wasteful. Why would a fruit devote so much of its energy to producing such a massive pit? The answer is simple. It wasn't designed for squirrels. It wasn't designed for birds. And it certainly wasn't designed for people. It was built for creatures weighing several tons. In evolutionary terms, the avocado is a living fossil, a fruit whose design still reflects a world that vanished thousands of years ago. For millions of years, this strategy worked flawlessly. Then, almost overnight, everything changed. The giants disappeared, and the avocado's greatest strength instantly became its greatest weakness. Around 13,000 years ago, the world entered one of the most dramatic turning points in natural history. As the last ice age came to an end, climates shifted rapidly. Vast grasslands transformed into forests, temperatures rose, and ecosystems that had remained stable for thousands of years suddenly changed. At nearly the same time, humans were spreading across the Americas. Scientists still debate exactly what happened next. Some believe changing climates placed enormous pressure on giant mammals already struggling to adapt. Others argue that newly arrived human hunters pushed vulnerable populations beyond the point of recovery. Most researchers now believe it was likely a combination of both. Whatever the cause, the result was undeniable. Within just a few thousand years, nearly every giant mammal that had once dominated the American landscape disappeared. Ground sloths vanished. Gomphotheres vanished. The enormous seed carriers that the avocado had relied upon for millions of years were simply gone. For most plants, losing one animal species might be inconvenient. For the avocado, it was catastrophic. Without those giants, its oversized seed became a burden instead of an advantage. Modern mammals were too small to swallow it. Birds couldn't lift it. Predators ignored it completely. Every season, ripe avocados fell directly beneath the parent tree. There, hundreds of seeds competed for the same sunlight, the same water, and the same nutrients. Most never had a chance. Many rotted before they could sprout. Those that did germinate often died in the deep shade created by the mature tree above them. Generation after generation, the avocado's natural range shrank. From an evolutionary standpoint, the species had become trapped by a strategy that no longer worked. If nothing changed, extinction wasn't just possible, it was inevitable. But nature had one final surprise waiting. A completely different species, one that the avocado had never evolved alongside, was about to change its fate forever. And unlike the giants that came before, these new partners didn't swallow the seed. They planted it. Just when the avocado seemed destined to disappear, an entirely new partner entered the story: humans. Early people had been living in Mesoamerica for thousands of years, sharing the landscape with the last of the giant mammals. As those animals disappeared, humans remained, and, unlike every other surviving creature, they discovered something special about the avocado. Despite its enormous pit, the fruit was remarkably nutritious. Its creamy flesh provided healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, and calories that were difficult to find in many wild plants. For small communities living close to nature, it was an incredibly valuable food source. But humans offered the avocado something even more important than appreciation. They replaced the work once performed by giant ground sloths. Instead of swallowing the seed and carrying it across forests, people intentionally planted it. This simple act changed everything. Every seed placed into fertile soil gave the avocado another chance to survive. Trees that produced larger, tastier fruit were favored. Seeds from those trees were planted again. Generation after generation, people unknowingly became the avocado's new evolutionary partner. The earliest wild avocados looked very different from those we know today. Most of the fruit was pit. Only a thin layer of edible flesh surrounded the seed, making each harvest far less rewarding than a modern avocado. Yet early farmers were patient. Over centuries, they selected trees with thicker flesh, richer flavor, and more reliable harvests. Without understanding genetics, they practiced one of humanity's oldest technologies: selective cultivation. Slowly, the avocado began to change. The fruit grew larger. The flesh became creamier. The pit became smaller relative to its size. By shaping the avocado generation after generation, humans accomplished what evolution alone might never have achieved after the Ice Age. Recent archaeological discoveries suggest this partnership began astonishingly early. Evidence from ancient sites in Central America indicates that people were managing wild avocado trees thousands of years before many other major crops became widespread. In fact, some researchers believe avocados were being cultivated before maize became the dominant staple of the region. Long before corn transformed civilizations, the avocado had already found its new guardian. And soon, it would become far more than just another fruit. It would become sacred. As agriculture spread across Mesoamerica, the avocado became far more than a reliable source of food. It became a symbol of prosperity, fertility, and life itself. Long before Europeans ever crossed the Atlantic, civilizations such as the Olmec, Maya, and Aztecs had already been cultivating avocado trees for centuries. The fruit appeared in villages, marketplaces, and family gardens, becoming woven into everyday life. For the Maya, the avocado was important enough to appear in their calendar. Its image represented one of the months in their sacred system of time, reflecting how closely the fruit was connected to seasonal life and agriculture. It wasn't simply something people ate. It was part of the rhythm of civilization itself. The Aztecs gave the fruit an even more memorable identity. They called it a huacatl, a word that literally translates to testicle. The unusual name came from the way avocados often hang from trees in pairs. Over time, that resemblance inspired the belief that the fruit possessed powerful fertility-enhancing properties. Whether or not those claims had any scientific basis didn't really matter. The belief spread throughout the empire, giving the avocado an almost mythical reputation. It was valued not only for its rich flavor, but also as a symbol of strength, vitality, and abundance. Meanwhile, farther south, other civilizations were also embracing the fruit. Archaeologists have uncovered ancient avocado remains buried alongside elite individuals, suggesting that it held cultural significance beyond simple nutrition. In many communities, it accompanied people even into the afterlife. By the time Spanish explorers reached the Americas in the early 16th century, the avocado had already completed a remarkable transformation. It had survived the extinction of giant mammals. It had found a new partner in humanity, and it had become one of the most treasured crops in the New World. The Spanish immediately recognized its value. There was only one problem. They couldn't pronounce its name. That small language barrier would eventually give the fruit a brand new identity, one the entire world would come to know. The avocado was about to begin its journey beyond the Americas. When Spanish conquistadors arrived in the Americas during the early 1500s, they encountered countless foods they had never seen before. Tomatoes, chocolate, vanilla, corn, and among them was a strange green fruit with buttery flesh and an unusually large seed. After tasting it, they quickly realized they had discovered something special. The only difficulty was its name. The Aztec word ahuacatl was unfamiliar to Spanish ears, so it gradually evolved into aguacate. As the fruit spread through Europe over the following centuries, its name changed again through different languages, before eventually becoming the English word we know today, avocado. The fruit also began an extraordinary journey across continents. Spanish ships carried avocado seeds to islands throughout the Caribbean. From there, the trees spread into South America, Asia, and parts of Africa, thriving anywhere with warm tropical climates. Yet despite its success in many parts of the world, the avocado remained largely unknown in North America. For centuries, most Americans had never tasted one. If you lived outside California, there was a good chance you had never even seen an avocado. The few varieties available at the time presented another challenge. Their smooth green skin bruised easily during transport, making long-distance shipping almost impossible. By the time they reached distant markets, many fruits were already damaged or overripe. Without reliable transportation, large-scale commercial farming simply wasn't practical. The avocado seemed destined to remain a regional curiosity rather than an international favorite. Then, in the 1920s, something unexpected happened in Southern California. Not in a university laboratory, not on a government research farm, but in the backyard of an ordinary mail carrier. A single stubborn tree, one that almost ended up being cut down, would completely transform the avocado industry forever. And without it, the avocado on your grocery store shelf today would probably look very different. The modern avocado industry owes its existence to one tree that almost never had a chance. Its story begins in Southern California during the late 1920s with an ordinary mail carrier named Rudolph Hass. Like many Californians at the time, Hass dreamed of making extra income by growing avocados. He purchased several young seedlings, hoping to graft them into a popular commercial variety known as Fuerte, the industry's gold standard. Most of the trees accepted the grafts without trouble. One did not. No matter how many times Hass tried, the grafts failed. The stubborn seedling refused to become anything other than itself. Frustrated, Hass decided the tree wasn't worth keeping. He planned to cut it down. Fortunately, his children convinced him to leave it alone. It turned out to be one of the most fortunate parenting decisions in agricultural history. Months later, the neglected tree finally produced fruit. At first glance, it didn't look promising. Unlike the smooth, bright green Fuerte avocados, these fruits had rough, pebbly skin that darkened almost black as they ripened. Many growers believed customers would never buy something that looked so unusual. But appearance wasn't everything. When the Hass family tasted the fruit, they immediately noticed the difference. It was richer, creamier, nutty. Its texture was smoother, and its flavor lingered longer than the varieties already on the market. Soon, neighbors began asking for more. Local grocery stores followed. Then growers started paying attention. What seemed like an ugly mistake was quickly becoming the most exciting new avocado anyone had ever tasted. Yet its greatest advantage had nothing to do with flavor. It was hidden in the skin. That rough, thick exterior protected the fruit during shipping, allowing it to survive long journeys that ruined other varieties. For the first time, avocados could travel across the country without arriving bruised or spoiled. A fruit that had once struggled to leave California was suddenly capable of reaching millions of new customers. One stubborn tree had quietly solved the avocado industry's biggest problem, and within a few decades, it would conquer the world. Even after the remarkable success of the Hass avocado, one major obstacle remained. Most Americans still weren't buying them. Outside California, avocados were considered unusual, expensive, and unfamiliar. Many shoppers had no idea how to eat one, let alone make it part of their weekly grocery list. There was another problem. For decades, the United States had severely restricted avocado imports from Mexico, officially citing concerns over agricultural pests. As a result, California growers supplied most of the country's avocados, keeping prices relatively high and availability limited. That began to change during the 1990s. New trade agreements gradually reopened the American market to Mexican avocados. With year-round production and ideal growing conditions, Mexico could supply enormous quantities of high-quality Hass avocados at competitive prices. Suddenly, avocados became easier to find and much more affordable. But supply alone doesn't create demand. The real turning point came from one of the most successful food marketing campaigns in modern history. Marketers asked a simple question: what food do millions of Americans already gather to eat every single year? The answer was obvious. The Super Bowl. Instead of advertising avocados as an exotic fruit, they promoted guacamole as the perfect game day snack. Recipes appeared everywhere. Celebrity chefs demonstrated how easy it was to make. Football fans were encouraged to pair tortilla chips with fresh avocado dip during watch parties. The strategy worked beyond anyone's expectations. Within a generation, guacamole became almost as traditional as football itself. Today, tens of millions of avocados are consumed during Super Bowl weekend alone. Trucks loaded with fresh fruit cross the U.S., Mexico border around the clock to satisfy demand, while supermarkets prepare months in advance for one of the busiest produce seasons of the year. A fruit that many Americans had never tasted just a few decades earlier had become a household staple. But every success carries a hidden cost. As global demand exploded, avocado farming became one of the world's most profitable agricultural industries. And wherever billions of dollars flow, far darker forces usually follow. Today, the avocado is celebrated as one of the healthiest foods on Earth. It's rich in healthy fats, fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. Nutrition experts praise it. Restaurants build entire menus around it. Social media has transformed it into a symbol of modern, healthy living. But behind every perfectly sliced avocado lies a story that is far less appetizing. As demand skyrocketed across the world, avocados became incredibly profitable. In Mexico, the world's largest avocado producer, they earned a new nickname: green gold. For many farming communities, the avocado created jobs, increased incomes, and transformed local economies. Unfortunately, enormous profits also attracted organized crime. In several major growing regions, criminal groups realized that controlling avocado production could generate millions of dollars every year. Instead of planting orchards themselves, they demanded protection payments from growers, pressured packing companies, and attempted to influence the supply chain. For many farmers, producing avocados became about far more than agriculture. It became a matter of survival. At the same time, another crisis was quietly unfolding. To meet global demand, thousands of acres of forests were cleared and replaced with avocado orchards. Hillsides that had once supported diverse ecosystems became endless rows of a single crop. The environmental consequences were significant. Native forests naturally store water, protect wildlife, stabilize soil, and help regulate local climates. Avocado plantations cannot fully replace those functions. In some regions, increasing water consumption has placed growing pressure on nearby rivers, underground aquifers, and rural communities that depend on them for drinking water and farming. This doesn't mean every avocado is produced irresponsibly. Far from it. Many growers operate sustainably, protect native forests, and follow strict environmental standards. But the industry's rapid expansion has shown how quickly success can create unexpected challenges. Ironically, a fruit that once struggled to survive because too few creatures wanted it, now faces a completely different problem. Too many people want it. And after surviving Ice Age extinctions, centuries of isolation, and countless obstacles, the avocado's greatest challenge may no longer come from nature, but from humanity itself. Fortunately, this remarkable story ends with an important reminder, one that reaches far beyond a single fruit. The avocado has survived challenges that almost no other fruit in history has faced. It survived the extinction of the giant animals that once carried its seeds across continents. It survived thousands of years when it could no longer reproduce the way nature had intended. It survived because humans stepped in, not as conquerors, but as unlikely partners. Ancient farmers planted its seeds. Civilizations treasured it. Explorers carried it across oceans. A California mailman chose not to cut down a stubborn tree. And generations of growers continued improving a fruit that nearly vanished from the earth. Today, more than 80% of the avocados sold worldwide belong to the Hass variety, all tracing their ancestry back to that single remarkable tree in Southern California. Think about that for a moment. Every time you slice an avocado into a salad, spread it onto toast, or scoop it into guacamole, you're holding the result of thousands of years of unlikely events. Events that depended on countless small decisions made by both nature and people. Had the Ice Age ended differently? Had early farmers ignored the fruit? Had Rudolph Hass followed through with cutting down that unusual tree? The avocado as we know it might never have existed. But perhaps the most important lesson isn't about history. It's about responsibility. The avocado's future is no longer determined by giant sloths or ancient civilizations. It's determined by us. Consumers, farmers, businesses, and governments all play a role in deciding how this fruit will be grown in the decades ahead. Supporting sustainable farming, protecting forests, and encouraging responsible agricultural practices can help ensure that the avocado's next chapter is very different from the environmental challenges it faces today. After all, history has already shown that the avocado is incredibly resilient. It adapted when evolution failed. It survived when extinction seemed certain. It flourished when given a second chance. Few foods tell a story this extraordinary. From prehistoric giants, to sacred civilizations, to global trade, to Super Bowl traditions, the avocado has traveled one of the longest and most unlikely journeys of any fruit on Earth. And perhaps that's why every avocado carries a quiet reminder. Sometimes, survival doesn't belong to the strongest. It belongs to those fortunate enough to find the right partner at exactly the right moment. If you enjoyed this story, let us know which chapter surprised you the most. And if you'd like to explore more forgotten histories behind everyday foods, be sure to subscribe. You may never look at your next meal the same way again.